What's up guys, it's my geography channel, and for this video we're gonna go to Ethiopia, and this video is gonna be talking about Ethiopian regions. Now we all know Ethiopia has a total of 13 regions in total, each bordering all of the countries. So let's start. So we're gonna start in northern Ethiopia, and that region is gonna be Tigray. Tigray is a region in northern Ethiopia, bordering Eritrea to the north and having a pretty small border with Sudan to the east. The capital is Mekelle, and it sits right here in the central part of the country. And Aksum is a pretty small town where you can find the Aksum, the kingdom of Aksum. And now we're gonna go south of Tigray. And then we're going to go to Amhara. Amhara is one of the big, not the first, but Amhara is one of the big regions in Ethiopia, home to the Blue Nile River, the biggest lake in the country, Lake Tana. And the capital is Bahidar. It sits right on the Lake Tana, and it sits right on the Blue Nile River to the east. And the Amhara region also, you can go look at Bahidar, and you can go look at Lalibela, where you can find the Lalibela churches. And you can also go up north of Lake Tana, where Gondar, the most Jewish town in Ethiopia. And then we're gonna go to one of the most biggest regions in Ethiopia, the Oromia region. The Oromia region is the biggest region in Ethiopia, and it's home to lots of stuff. Well, first, it's home to Addis Ababa, and Addis Ababa is also the capital of Oromia region, and it's the biggest city in Ethiopia, in the Oromia country, and in the whole country. Oromia region is home to Nikimit, also in western Oromia region, and Addis Ababa, which is the biggest city, and it gets most of the tourists in Ethiopia all the time. And the Oromia region also has the Bao Mountains National Park. And now Dire Dawa. Dire Dawa is also another region in Ethiopia. The capital is Dire Dawa, and it sits right here. It's not really the most recognized town in the city because it's pretty small. It's pretty small. And Dire Dawa also sits right on the Dekchatu River. It's one of the biggest rivers in the city. And then they also have the Dire Dawa. They had the Dire Dawa in the university, and they also sit on the border with the Somali region, not too far from Jijiga and Harar. And then there's the Harari region. The Harari region contains good relations with Somali region, also because it's really close. The capital, Harar, sits right here. It's not really a big city, but a lot of people do know it. And some people go to Addis Ababa, Jijiga, and also other cities for universities. And then there's the Somali region. The Somali region is not Somalia. The Somali region is the second largest region in Ethiopia. This region borders Djibouti to the north, Somalia to the east, and Kenya to the south. The capital is Jijiga, and it sits right up here. Jijiga is also right next to the Oromia region, and if you go to Jijiga, it is very crowded. In the Somali region, we all know that Somalia contains deserts in the country, a lot of it, but don't forget Somalia also has a lot of Greenland too. The Somali region is one of the dry places. Tigray and the Somali region is one of the dry places in Ethiopia because it shares a border with Somalia, and there's lots of deserts and savannas that look similar to Kenya. And the capital, like I said, is Jijiga. The Somali region, it's not really known for a lot of stuff, but I do know that it's home to the Awash River and the Shelbel River. The Shalabel River is a river in Ethiopia, but it just also connects with Somalia, and then it goes through central Somalia, passing through Mogadishu, and then entering into the Indian Ocean. It's not a big region that everyone goes to, though. And now we have the region that's also my favorite, the Gambela region. The Gambela region is a region in western Ethiopia, bordering South Sudan to the west. And the capital is Gambela, which sits on the northern part. And it also sits right on this river called the Barrow River. The Barrow River is a river in Ethiopia, connecting with South Sudan also, and going right past to the capital, Gambela. Gambela isn't really a region that's really recognized the most because it is a small region, but in Gambela you can find the Gambela National Park, and in Amharic it already says that. Gambela, it's not recognized as much because it's not like a place that a lot of people heard of. Most people have heard of Amhara, Somali, Oromia, even Southern nations and nationalities. But Gambela is actually my favorite region, if I'm being honest. And then they also share a river with South Sudan, and this is in Amarinha. This is the Barrow River. So yeah, that's Gambela. And now we have Benushemus Gumus. Benushemus Gumus, just like Gambela, it's not a region that everybody knows much. I mean, a lot of Ethiopians, they know all the regions, but this region is not really a region that they really heard of more than us. The capital is Asosa, and Asosa sits right here, kind of in like the southwestern part, not too far from the border with South Sudan. Moguf is a city, a little town in South Sudan, right next to the border in Ethiopia. Asosa, it does have rivers in the country, but they all don't have names. They're all small rivers. But even Asosa is small, but they have a university, and they have Buta Kasiyala Asosa Airport. Ethiopia is home to, not home, but it has a lot of airports. And then next we have the Afar region. The Afar region is a region in Ethiopia. Well, but when you hear Afar, you might think of Eritrea, because in Eritrea there is a tribe called Afar, but in Ethiopia there is a region called Afar. There's not really a reason behind this. But anyway, Afar is a region bordering Eritrea to the north and Djibouti to the east. The capital is Samira, and it's not really much. It's almost like Gambela, but Afar also has the Yangugi Rasa National Park and the Mile Surdo Wildlife Reserve. The capital, Samira, sits right here. It's really, some Ethiopian cities can be pretty small, but they still have Samira University and Samira Airport. And the Afar region and the Tigray region are the most driest regions in Ethiopia and Somali region. In Ethiopia, most of the Greenland is in the eastern northern part of the country, like in Amhara. And then next we have, this one is very long, so I have to put it in. Okay, let's see. Southern. The next region is a very long name. So the next region is Southern Nations, Nationalities, and Peoples regions. This is a very, not really a region, but it's a region that a lot of people knows. And the Southern Nations, Nationalities, or Peoples regions, or for short, you can call it SNNP for short. It's a region that borders Kenya, and it has Lake Turkana in the south. Lake Turkana is a lake in Kenya, but Ethiopia also shares with the lake, and the Omo River enters Lake Turkana. But Ethiopia has a very, very small border with Lake Turkana, so they don't really use it as much. But the southern nationalities and peoples regions, it's a good region to live in. They have the urban cities Arba Mich, and Arba Mich is not the capital, but it's a pretty big city. Lots of people go to Arba Mich to live there because it is pretty beautiful. And Arba Mich sits right on Abaya Lake, or Lake Abaya, and it also sits on Chamo Lake. They named the lake Abaya because it's named after Arba Mich. And then the capital is Hawassa, and Hawassa sits in like the northern part, not too far from the city from Shashamane. Hawassa is a city that a lot of Ethiopians go to. They have a university, Hawassa Airport, and also Hawassa University. And then they also sit on the Lake Hawassa. It's named after the city Hawassa, as we all know. And then they also have a river up north. We're gonna find it right here. It doesn't have a name because it's not really a big river, but it is a nice river. The southern nations and nationalities and peoples regions, they have a lot of lakes in the country. And now the next region is gonna be Benushemus Gumus. And Benushemus Gumus, oh wait, I already said that. Oh yeah. Now we're gonna do Harar. Harar is not really like a place that we all know Harar, but it's not like a big city. And to answer your question, is Harar a city or is it a region? Ethiopians, they consider Harar to be a region and a city, but other people just consider it to be a city. But they also are in the Harar region, so I think it should kind of be a region. Harari region is only recognized for its big city, Harar. There's not a lot of other big cities next to it. So we covered all the regions in Ethiopia. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please remember to subscribe. And the next video is going to be about Eritrea. Bye.